Hello there, we have been talking about Freytag story format and how it can be used in advertisement, and I said that by using Freytag pyramid you can convey your brand story in given time. Now what does it mean from few seconds to few minutes? Sometimes it is difficult to convey the producer or the client to have all the components of the story format. Not everyone has the time in the world, but if you as a creative person or the team stick to this paradigm, the labor pays off. And the example that I want to quote is from a corporate video actually. It's called The Spring, the Charity Water Story. Now, what this has, it's a 22 minutes long film and it's made for a NGO which is released, which is available on YouTube. You type this, The Spring, the Charity Water Story. Now, how this particular film of 22 minutes long, it's made in a documentary style, what it has and how it is using Freytag's components, let's understand that. Now, in the exposition part, Scott's voiceover talks about water and its importance because it's about water. It is a set apart and sets a mood, tone, and the range of the story. When you look at the when you, I mean I because of some technical reason cannot show you that film, but the name of that film is The Spring, the Charity Water Story, and it's a 22 minutes long film. And when you watch that film and listen to this video, then you will see how exposition, inciting incident, rising action, climax, falling action works. So in the inciting incident part, Scott takes us on a personal journey and talks about about his mother's illness. To give a rise or the rising action or setting up the stakes, he talks about how his childhood struggle of taking care of his sick parents, inviting sympathy and glue to his point. Now, in the climax part, he is talking about the climax part has complication and show how a good kid turns into a New York City club promoter and gets into drugs and alcohol, hits the bottomless dungeon and decides to return to his life around. In the falling action part, it reveals how a New York City club promoter turns into a volunteer photographer who documents facial deformities and how a group of doctors selflessly put back the life of these patients to normal, a complete reversal for a character. Then in the resolution part makes you witness how dirty water gives birth to sickness, and it decides to bring clean water to these communities. He uses all the skills of nightclub promotion skills to raise money for these communities to get clean water. In the denouement part, he invites you to join the cause. Now, the film that I have talked about, which is available on YouTube, because of the copyright thing I can't show you that in this video, The Spring, the Charity, the Water Story, which the duration of that film is 22 minutes. Now, my first point, when you see that film, my first point is, can a non-profit organization video of 22 minutes can hold your attention this long? If somebody tells me that it's an NGO film and it's a 22 minutes film, first of all, many of us would not agree to watch a film of 22 minutes. Okay. It is obviously made having donors in mind, because in the end he says that you join the cause by donation and everything. So again, second red flag, that okay, he is asking for money, okay, I am not watching this film. But you cannot leave this fundraising gala without having been affected by the effect of the art of storytelling with a purpose. That's the power of knowing a story structure and implementing it for a noble cause. So we talked about how it is working in advertisement. Now I'm giving an example that how it is working in documentary. Now, documentary filmmaking is a part in a lot of colleges at graduation and post graduation level across India and world over. Now, when I'll be talking about documentary, there are certain styles, poetic documentary, and some has jarring narrative style. I'll be talking about different documentary filmmaking. But the kind of documentaries which are making an impact, be that Katiyabaz for that matter, or lot of films recently, some won Oscars also. When you see them, you know that you are watching documentary, but you also realize simultaneously that there is something more than documentary elements in this documentary. They are basically the narrative parts, the narrative style, and I am just telling you one narrative style in documentary. Somebody smart enough can use different styles in different documentaries. Now, our documentary of 22 minutes about water, about somebody's mothers, about somebody's lifestyle, how he changes his life, and then in the end he is asking you, okay, if you really like the work that I am doing, please donate to help us, the organization, to reach more people to provide clean water. Now, the second point that I discussed, that your story, through your story, through your advertisement, is basically the extension of your marketing strategy. Now think of this same film, The Spring, the Charity Water Story, duration 22 minutes. Scott Harrison approach demonstrate the interconnectedness between a brand's narrative and its marketing strategy. What is marketing strategy? That I want more clients to invest in my company, or I need more donation. But look at the way, when you look, you may not understand this specific point unless you see the film. When I saw it, I am in a habit of watching a lot of material, but when I saw it, I really liked it, and I decided to incorporate that into this video. From the kind of life Scott has, or had, sorry, the kind of life Scott had, the kind of turnarounds, how he got into such a noble cause, and how he is making a difference, is actually a very interesting documentary. But look at the way he demonstrate the interconnectedness between the brand's narrative and the marketing strategy. That is what something for which you should watch this film. Then similarly, Blake Mayeski, the founder and chief shoe giver of Tom's, you must have heard of this company Tom's, reflects upon his journey to Argentina, during which he encountered youngsters who were confronted with the adversity of growing up without footwears. His idea, one for one, was derived from this, whereby the purchase of a pair of Tom's shoes leads to the donation of a pair to a child who is in need. Now think of this idea. What we are talking about? We are talking about marketing strategy and the brand's narrative. This is what we are talking about. Now, in the world where even though you want to help people, but there are times when you are not able to help, by buying one product which is assuring you, and they give proof of that also, that if you buy my shoes, in this case Tom's, if you buy my shoe, so the cost that you are paying for this particular pair of shoes, I will, on your behalf, from the money that you have given me, I will be paying one pair to a child who is in need of this, and I will give you proof of that to you also, and I will upload that on my website also. Now think of the strategy that this particular company is applying, that not only you are buying shoe, you are actually giving someone hope also, and you feel happy, you feel elated that by buying this particular product, I am helping society. What a beautiful way of, what a beautiful marketing strategy. Somebody may not like it, but at least when I am busy, I am buying something and I know that a portion of this particular buying is going to someone who is in need, and I can track that, and there is no, there is no, mischief in this. What a beautiful feeling. And if somebody wants to check, this is the website, and you can go and check it yourself. Toms and Save the Children, making a large footprint of positive change, one for one impact. You can go on the website and change. But look, my purpose is not to promote this website, please understand that. I am giving you some examples that how somebody is integrating marketing strategy, brand narration and creativity, and promoting his or her own brand. Now, Mykoski brand's narrative adheres to Freytag pyramid framework. That is what we are here for. However, beside the one for one concept, the company has allocated a percentage of its income towards other initiatives, including vision correction, safe water and birth, and social enterprises. Each of these donations within the field of social work might be associated with the product that Toms offer for sale. So, you are not just buying one pair of shoes, Look, the kind of marketing strategies these people are doing. Look, somebody else will talk about marketing strategy better than me. What I am doing, I am taking an actual product from the world that you and I live in. I am talking about certain marketing strategy, and I am talking about how Freytag's pyramid can be used. So that when you are hired to write, when you become part of some creative team, you know that these things exist. People have been using it, and they have been using it for their own social and financial gain, in a positive sense, not in a negative sense I am talking. So, there is no problem, I am selling toothpaste. Suppose a toothpaste company comes to you, you are the creative agency, you are advertising agency, and you propose them, sir, this is how other companies are doing. Can you, start doing it for 2 months from your sale? That we will take your toothpaste to some locations where people are not able to buy, where oral hygiene is not is not a priority. Can we do something around this? Trust me, when you put this proposal to your client, trust me when I am saying it, it will work in most of the cases. And why and how do you know this? Because you are in search of knowledge. You are combining 2-3 different disciplines together. That's the purpose of education also. Now, the sale of eyewear facilitates the provision of vision preserving surgery or prescribing spectacles. Water accessibility is enhanced in locations where Tom's coffee beans are produced. So, they are not limited only by giving shoes. Look how they are like venturing into different social areas, or acquiring handbags ensures the safety of new mother during childbirth, or the backpack sales are allotted towards the prevention of bullying in school. This is one example. So, Tom's marketing strategy effectively blends its for-profit business and non-profit support. Look how beautiful it is. Tom's marketing strategy effectively blends its for-profit business and non-profit support, creating a seamless integration that compels buyer to purchase their products only for the gratification experience of wearing and owning something that has a tremendous impact on others. So Tom uses Freytag storytelling format to engage with the individual it serves. Narratives about local leaders and community members are disseminated to customers to enhance the bond between the buyer, donor and recipient individual, hence fostering transformative change within their community. The marketing method employed by Tom's is noteworthy due to its adeptness in employing language and images in promotional material. Upon visiting their Improving Lives website, carefully observe the global map, textual context, visual representation and graphical elements. The beneficiaries are consistently depicted as not desperate. So this is something really interesting. Impoverished or lacking in skills, while the buyer donors are portrayed as diversified, mirroring the recipient's diversity. There is a deliberate approach to ensure that the relationship between the buyer, retailer and beneficiaries is perceived as a mutual advantageous one, founded on respect and collaborative efforts to improve the world. So look how these things, that's a problem with lot of students. Even when I was a student, I also had this problem. So it is a problem generally with all the students, that when they go into a particular stream, so there is a syllabus, there are programs, there is a program, there are courses, there is syllabus, there are midterms, there are final exams, there are other exams also, fresher, farewell, cultural events. Most of us are not able to understand that we are here to grow ourselves in terms of technical skills and intellectual capacity. Mugging up or only going to classes is not the purpose. The purpose, notes is never a problem. This is what I always say in my class. Notes is not a problem. You can get some of the best notes in the world. But classes are about, information is there in the notes, but classes are beyond those notes, where you actually feel that, okay, this is something which is beyond notes. This is something that I could have only understood by coming in class. Okay, this teacher inspires me. This teacher actually motivates me. This teacher specifically talks about how different knowledge can be combined and a new knowledge can be produced. And that's the purpose of this particular lecture, or that's the purpose of CEC also, that people from different disciplines are coming, they are teaching on basically online and helping people to learn, to gain something new. So there is an element of permutation and combination, So, and what I am doing today, I am taking story formats which comes from literature, which is used in cinema. Then I am taking some marketing thing which is absolutely a different domain. I am talking about a company, obviously that is absolutely a different world altogether. And by combining all these things, we are talking about, look how people are doing wonders. This is how the knowledge that you and I have, this is how people are using it. Now, let us understand that execute your creative idea for powering your company's image through storytelling. Now, this is something really interesting. Here is where I will show you few pictures. Okay. It is about an ad which is about Hyundai. Okay. That is where we will try to understand that how precisely Freytag pyramid is being used. Okay. Frequently, marketing and branding endeavor to adopt a linear approach when presenting idea. Now, this is something that when you start working for an ad agency or for a film, you know that how things work. So, this product is of high quality, purchasing it simplifies life. make a purchase. However, in a market filled with numerous, comparable products, all claiming to be, time and energy saving, a product associated with a captivating and, suspenseful narrative captures your attention. Now, look at these images on your screen. How are the images? There is a house. Okay, let's understand it this way. There is a house, there is a car parked in front of a house, like many houses have car parking. It's a big house. And then somebody comes at the door, obviously he is a boy, and a girl receives him. Okay, then look at these images. Now suddenly in the same frame, his father comes. Oh, so you have come to pick my girl. Okay, it's a beautiful ad. It's available online. I could only use images and specifically for educational purpose only. So he says, yes, yes, I am here. So the exposition part says the father, portrayed by comedian Kevin Hart, welcomes an unprepared youngster accompanying his daughter on their initial outing. To demonstrate his, amiable nature, father, in this case Kevin, lends the youngster his recently acquired Hyundai Genesis. Okay. So there is a boy who comes to pick up a girl. He says, oh, you have come to pick, the cultural sensibility is different. So I am not here to debate whether this is right or not right. So the cultural sensibility is different. So anyway, this is acceptable there. It's a beautiful ad. So he says, okay, you are here to pick up my daughter. Okay, do one thing, take my car, out of generosity. So even the boy says, okay, how cool his father is. Now, so this is how they go away, and father is like, chhodunga nahi. And now you see Kevin's true face. So now now he looks at his watch. So look how smartly the product is placed, So he is looking at his watch. Okay, now they are in the car. They have started from my house. So it is basically telling audience that when your car is being taken, you know where it is going. Now in the rising action part, Kevin Hart is positioned behind. Now I'll show you how the boy and the boy, as he attempts to make advance on the daughter. Now look at, they are in a cinema hall. This is what you can see on your screen. They are in a cinema hall, and the boy is trying to get close. As somehow he looks, his father is sitting in next row and he is watching him, and suddenly there is like he removes his hand. So inciting incident says it happens when the boy extends his arm towards the daughter during a film view, and then directs his gaze towards Kevin, the father, who is observed consuming a beverage and concealing himself behind a bag of popcorn. Look at these things. Then the boy, experiences immediate fear and finds himself torn between assuming the role of cool man to his girlfriend and a nice lad to her father. So now he has to strike a balance, because he knows how Kevin knows where they are. The reason how Kevin knows where they are. So now throughout the ad, Kevin is following these young birds, and he knows where they are. There is a tracking device. Now look at, now the second scene is they are in a fair. First they were in a cinema hall, now they are in a fair. There is a toy shop, excitement, everything is good, I want this toy, things like that. So then you see that Kevin is there among the toys. So any advancement that this boy is trying to have on the girl, Kevin is watching. Now he feels scared. Suddenly he says, no, your father. He is not telling this to the girl, and he says, no, fine, this is absolutely all right. Now this is something, Kevin is trying to keep a track. Then you see this. Now the third location. First was house, second was in the cinema hall, third was toy shop, and fourth is that they are on a hilltop, alone, nobody is there, in a car. Extreme moment. Look at these two visuals. He is making his advancement. Suddenly he sees the second picture on the lower side. He sees something. It astonishes him. It astonishes him. What he sees? This is what he sees. His father is hanging from an helicopter and saying, don't do it, don't think of doing it. And he's like taken aback, you know. Then, you know, he does some action and things like that, something like this. Watch this ad, very interesting ad. And then he says, okay, fine, I really have to go back and drop this girl. That's the climax. Kevin Hart positioned at a mark out location with a view over Hollywood suspends himself from a rope attached to a shark shaped helicopter, you know, vociferously claiming you are messing with a wrong daddy. Following action part says the boy drives back home immediately. You know, that is what he wanted. And the reversal is the boy is aware that he is messing with an eccentric father. Now, only father knows, boy knows, girl is highly disappointed. And he says, I don't know what happened. So the father is like, beta, I don't know what happened. And he extends his hand. The boy drops the key and, you know, look at the expression he has. Yes, I am successful in what I wanted to. Now, when you look at these things, now the resolution part says the father emerged victorious when his daughter reaches home safely and early, courtesy of Hyundai Genesis, you know, car finder, a new functionality that monitors the vehicle's location. Now, what an amazing way. Now, the story says, now if suppose if I am the client, you are an advertising agency, I come and say, look, I want to promote my car's one new feature which is car finder, and it monitors the vehicle's location. Now, if I say this, it's extremely boring pitch, but the way I have described the ad, you know, I have add a subtext to it, and through that subtext I am saying the main story. When you look at this ad, you will enjoy it, and that's the power of creative narrative marketing strategy that you and I like. Thank you very much.